Hi, I'm Catriona, for those of you that don't know me, but about 70% of you who are watching this are subscribed to my channel, which is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. If you are new here, my name's Catriona, as I said before, and I have been a spiritual teacher and healer for a long time, like over 20 years. Today, I'm answering a question that somebody asked me because people know that I'm back doing videos and they're interested in learning because I'm not doing any classes at the moment. The question was about abundance. What is abundance? What's true abundance? And oh gosh, it's such a big topic. Like, let's start with abundance. It's such a buzzword. People think abundance is about money and possessions. There was a movie years ago now that came out called The Secret that was really about the law of attraction, or just how the law of the universe, really, how we create, like, draw things to us. But the video itself, or the movie, the documentary, was very much focused on creating physical wealth and money and things. And while it's nice to have things, and we'll talk about that as well, because you can actually create wonderful abundance for yourself by how you sit in yourself and how you sit in your life. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about is that, for me, true abundance is how you feel in here. And it's about being able to receive what you get in your life. So let's take you on a little journey right now, right? Let's go to our ancestors. So this is a picture of my ancestors. This is my great-great-grandparents, taken in the 18-something. And they lived a life. They were quite well off for their time. Like, they weren't wealthy, but they're pretty good compared to most people. But yet they have less than I do now. They were considered wealthy, but the way that I'm living, I am like a queen. Now, the reason why I'm like a queen, and I reckon you would be as well, is because firstly, we have usually cupboards full of food. And it's quite easy for us to go and buy food if you have like enough cash flow. We have cars, we have ample clothes. In fact, we don't have one pair of shoes. We don't have one pair of shoes and Sunday best shoes. We have many pairs of shoes, and many of you have so many shoes you don't even wear them all. A lot of people have clothes in their cupboard that they've never even worn, whereas my great-grandparents probably only had maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 changes of clothes because they were well off. But if you weren't well off, and many of you, your ancestors would just be like the normal people, they had one lot of clothes that was on their back. And sometimes they might have had other things, but usually that clothing that they were wearing came from somebody else. And by the time they got it, it was like the third owner. And we're not talking about children, we're talking about adults, because clothing it took so much work and it was so expensive. And people died and got taken to Australia as convicts for stealing loaves of bread, because people would eat just bread for dinner. Because bread at that, it was a different kind of bread than we have now, like a lot more nutritious, but that's all people could eat. Like a slice of bread, because that's what they could afford. Like, we are now living in a way that if our relatives saw us, they would say we're kings and queens. And yet we think we don't have enough. And that's because of consumerism, really. So I'm going to ask you to go on this journey for me, right? So just imagine, okay, that you've got this magical ability that everything you want, you can write on a list and you will magically receive it. So I want you to get a pen and paper. So stop the video now, go and get your pen and paper and come back. All right. So hopefully you stopped it. You've got your pen and paper, or you're just going to listen. But if you're going to listen, please try this because it's amazing. You might have already tried it if you're one of my clients because it's a fantastic thing, this is. So anyway, get your pen and paper. Now, I want you to put on the top of the list, wish list, right? And wish list abundance, and put a line under it. Now, what I want you to do is spend time writing down every single thing you want for your life. Now, this includes things that you have. So you have to imagine that if it's not on the list, you can't have it for the rest of your life, right? So if it's not there, you can't have it. So if you forget to put underwear there, you can't have underwear. If you forget socks, you can't have socks. If you forget toothpaste, you can't have toothpaste. If you forget toothbrush, you can't have toothbrush. If you forget a glass, you can't drink water. That sort of thing. Okay, so put everything you'd want for your life, whether it's pens, pencils, books, maybe it's a new car, maybe it's a house, maybe it's a better person to have a partner, like better, partner to be with. Whatever it is, put it on your list. Okay, now imagine that, as I said, if it's not on the list, it doesn't count. Now, try it. Give yourself 10 minutes. Don't be frustrated because I don't think you'll be able to write the list fully, but I just want you to have an understanding of how many things you actually want. And that includes the things that you already have. It's just, these are the things that you want and need in your life, right? So if you want a phone, you put the phone, right? So I hope you've got the idea. Okay, off you go. Go and write your list, okay? And pause the video, go and write the list, and then come back and we'll talk. Okay, so hopefully you paused the video and you've come back with your list in hand. Now, hopefully the list is 1, 2, 3 pages long and you have all kinds of things on the list. Now, what I want you to do, and again, you're going to pause the video. I want you to get 2 texters, colourful texters. They can be highlighters, they can be texters, they can be pens, pencils, whatever, but two nice different colours. And I want you to mark all the things that you already have with a highlighter or some sort of colour, and then all the things that you want that you don't have with the other colour. Okay? Pause the video, go and do it, and then come back. Okay, now, hopefully you pause the video, you've come back. If not, and you're still watching, please try this exercise if you haven't, because it's really amazing, even though now you will know the answer before you've done the exercise. But those of you that have followed my instructions, what I want you to realize is, if you have a look at your list, I have never met anyone whose list doesn't include mostly everything on the list they already have. And there's only a very small amount of things that they actually want that they don't have. So when you look at that, you can understand how abundant we are. We are amazingly abundant. We have so much of what we want, and yet we don't receive it. We don't take it on. We don't understand how important it is for us to really look at the things we have and to be aware of how we're living and be grateful, right? Like, I usually have more than enough food. And if I don't have enough food, I can ask a friend to feed me, and they will. And I am lucky enough to have a car, and I have warm clothes, and I'm living in this beautiful place. You can see how gorgeous it is. I feel very abundant. I've got a warm jacket on because it's quite cold here today, but it's lovely. You can see the beautiful trees. The sun's going down at the moment. The birds are sort of starting to say it's the end of the day. So look at this list. You now have a list of things that mostly you have. And when I first did this exercise, and I don't even remember where I learned it from, but I was just blown away. I was just like, my goodness, how much do I actually have? And then I started thinking about my relatives, like I told you before, and how little they had. And I remember when I was a child, because I'm 56, And so when my relatives, you know, were from the 1900s, and I remember my grandparents talking about, you know, their parents getting oranges for Christmas, and that was the biggest gift, you know, to get an orange, because people didn't have access to fresh fruit. Fresh fruit! Like, what? And people got a book, and in their life they might have 1 or 2 or 3 books in their lifetime. Like, it was such a different life, you know. And my grandfather talks about, you know, how they had their shoes and they would just put newspaper or cardboard in the bottom because his brother or somebody else would have worn it and there's a hole in the shoe. So then by the time they got it, it was quite a worn shoe. And, you know, now how many pairs of shoes do children have? Like, we're living in a very abundant time, but we don't receive it. So the next video I'm going to do is about what receiving is. And receiving is not about, oh, thank you. It's about how do you really take on what we have? Because when you can really receive it, that's when it goes inside and starts to make you feel full, and you start to be able to vibrate from a different place, a place of abundance, a place of I have that. And then it means that when you get to a place where you really want something, instead of, oh, I can't afford it, it's like, how can I afford it? And we're not talking about necessarily getting a loan to get it. It's just like, I can find a creative way to be able to get that thing. Maybe I get it secondhand. Maybe I borrow it from somebody. Maybe I can make something to sell to get it. Like, there's all kinds of ways around things. Anyway, I'll talk to you next time about receiving. And yeah, let me know how you go in the comments with this little exercise, because it's such a worthwhile thing. And also, please put your hand up if you stopped the video and did it as you went along, because I would love that. So give me a hands up emoji. That would be amazing. All right. I will talk to you all soon, and thank you for watching. And I'm Catriona, and we will talk again and have an interesting journey. Bye, everyone.